You are not a sensei. You're a con man.
Hey ninjas!
Hiya!
Welcome to the cobrakai corner. On today's episode, Sensei, who are we going to be discussing?
Well, as y'all have all probably been waiting for, and you know I ain't going to give him any credit, so I'm going to call him Eli Moskowitz. I've had plenty to say about him in other shows, so
Hawk!
we're finally giving him his own show because, well, frankly, he came up in the rotation, so there you go. So, as we always do, we always start out with Shelley's part, who likes to dig up the facts on the actors. So, what do we know about Eli Moskowitz, a.k.a. Hawk, a.k.a. Jacob Bertrand?
All right, sir. Thank you. Well, he was born... His birth name is Jacob Scott Thomas Bertrand. He was born March 6th, 2000 in Los Angeles, California. He's 25 years old. His height is 5 feet, 10 inches. He's been in like a lot of TV and a lot of stuff, but I'm just going to kind of let you guys know what he's best known for. Okay. He is best known for Rise of the Guardians, This Means War, Paranorman, and Ready Player One, as well as, I stated before, many TV shows and appearances. Now, kids, if you were, kids around when he was young, not him, but Jacob, then you might know him from the Disney Channel show Kirby Buckets.
Yeah, he actually beat out Tanner Buchanan for that role, I believe.
I think you did tell me that.
Which, if any of you watched the last show, that was our guy that we did, Tanner Buchanan.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I believe I heard on one of those interview shows that they do that he actually beat Tanner Buchanan out for that role.
Cool.
I also heard that he did play a brief role on iCarly.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. I said he's been in a lot. They listed so many.
Yeah, you know these kids, they throw him in everything.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, now, what do you think? Is he skilled in martial arts in real life?
I think he is skilled in martial arts in real life.
Okay.
Am I right?
Well, he said, this is what Jacob said, quote, I definitely framed myself as a karate master when I was auditioning for the role. I had done a couple of years of strip mall karate as a kid, and I had forgotten it all by the time I was, 17 when I booked the role. So I want to say 0 experience, but I had gotten my blue belt. But I was 9 years old. So I don't know if that really counts. Honestly, I don't want to delegitimize all those blue belt 9-year-olds out there. But it was, not the most amazing training. That was a quote from him. He said also that Season 3 was really fun to play because it was Hawk probably in his darkest spot and just really trying to commit to, I'm Cobra Kai now. This is what my life is. I'll be an asshole. I'll fuck everybody up. I'll kill on sight. That was so much fun for me to get to do. He added that seasons 2 and 3 were his very favorite seasons. And then, do you have anything to add? Because I just have fun facts after that.
Well, I just thought that it was Hawk, though. It was an asshole, but hey, Jacob, maybe I should look you up a little bit more. Maybe
I don't think so.
Maybe you enjoy being an asshole a little bit too much.
Dude, if you were an actor with your personality, wouldn't you love to play bad guy? Come on. It'd be fun. I would love to be the villain. Like the villainous.
Well, life is a stage, and I am a villain, so...
Indeed. You're the villain in my horror show.
Hawk's not cool enough to be a villain, though. He's an anti-hero at best.
I love Hawk, so we will agree to disagree. Do you want to hear some fun facts?
Can't wait to hear some fun facts.
Okay, did you know that Jacob shares his birthday with Cobra Kai co-star Martin Kove, a.k.a. John Kreese?
I did not.
Jacob directed a YouTube short called Judge Decision, and do you know, I watched it, and it's really cute. It's about him daydreaming, he's smoking pot, and he's daydreaming these scenarios. And it's really cute. You guys should check it out.
And you know, frankly, I'm shocked that you just
cute.
told me that people doing YouTube have a director. I mean, I'm blown away by that fact.
YouTube's
Where's ours? Where's our guy with the action?
Where's your money? All right. He is, you know this, and I'm sure you guys all know this, but I just have to add it. He's dating Cobra Kai co-star Peyton List, a.k.a. Tori.
Which is perfect because, just like Jacob Bertrand, I like the actor but hate their character. I do not like Tori. I will deconstruct her on a different show.
I will disagree the whole way through because I love the actress and the part.
I don't like her one bit. But we'll get into that on her show.
Anyway, they have been dating since March 2022. But before Cobra Kai, they were both Disney Channel stars, with Peyton starring on Jessie, and as I stated before, Jacob on Kirby Buckets. But they also worked together way back in 2015 on the Disney Channel original movie, The Swap. In real life, Jacob is into backpacking and camping, which he and Peyton do together.
Sounds horrible.
And that is what I have.
Okay, so let's get into Eli Hawk Moskowitz. Okay, this kid's easy to hate from the get-go for me, because I hate little nerds that bitch about being bullied in the first place.
I loved him and I felt for him.
So this is where it starts out. He's a nerd at the school that's nice enough to let Miguel sit at his table along with Dimitri. And his mom even has to call into the school because he's being bullied about his scar from his cleft lip surgery.
I felt so bad for him.
So then, after Miguel whips ass, he decides he wants to join Cobra Kai so he doesn't get bullied anymore. Well, he gets in and immediately he's bullied by Johnny Lawrence at the dojo. He calls him lip, the kid with the lip, whatever.
He's
calls
like
him out,
over the top.
Calls him out in front of the class and makes fun of him. And then he tells him, you know, if you don't want people to talk shit about that, you better flip the script. Better do something badass, something crazy that nobody would expect or whatever. So the next day, in comes Hawk. It's this nerdy-ass lip kid, only he's got this mohawk and this tattoo on his back. Okay. At first you're like, alright, cool, this guy did what Johnny said. Look, he's kind of a badass, whatever. Then they have the party at the canyon, and Moon goes over and talks to him, and they start making out, and eventually they start going out, and this is the decline of Eli Moskowitz as far as being an asshole goes. Mm-hmm. Suddenly, he thinks his shit don't stink anymore. He thinks he's a badass. He thinks he's too good for his friend Dimitri. Keeps telling him to knock off all the nerd shit and keeps putting him down, basically. And like I said, he thinks that his shit don't stink. Now, that's just the tip of the iceberg on reasons why you can start to hate Hawk. Moving on through the thing, he gets more negatively increased or influenced by John Kreese. and he becomes an even worse a-hole, if you can believe that's possible.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes to the dojo, the Miyagi dojo, and destroys it because they lost a fight at the mall. 5 of them lost to just 2 people at the mall. And so Kreese encourages him to go destroy the Miyagi dojo, which he does. Johnny's not happy about this. He didn't know anything about it. Okay, this is bullet point number 1 of why Hawk was an asshole. And you know what? Throughout this entire series, Hawk proves himself to be an asshole time and time again. And all he has to do to garner forgiveness is say, "Oh, I'm sorry." And people are like, "Oh, you are? Well, shit, no problem then. Glad you said you're sorry. Cool. Let's go back to square one." But you know what? The worst thing he does in the entire series is go and destroy that dojo and steal the Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
And I know at one single point in this series, and I've watched it a few times now, I don't ever remember him apologizing to Mr. LaRusso. Where's his "I'm sorry"? He didn't get one. And you just get to stroll on into the place that you destroyed without an apology even. So you're an asshole for that. You broke Dimitri's arm. You're an asshole for that. And once again, after breaking his arm and all the antics he pulls, just looks over to him and, "Dude, I'm sorry." That's where it gets worse. For everything. Oh, good. A blanket apology. That's even better. Now, "I'm sorry for breaking your arm. That was a real dick move. I'm sorry for everything." Because, the list is too long.
He apologized, though.
Psh, I'm sorry. Make the punishment fit the crime. You don't break somebody's arm and then be like, "Sorry."
He didn't say it like that.
"Sorry, bro. I didn't mean to break your arm." Oh, in fact, I'm not even going to specifically mention that I'm sorry for that. I'm just sorry for everything. Because, there's too much shit for me to fucking independently list before we get into this fight with these other dudes. So I'm just sorry for all of it.
Okay,
That's what he says, all of it. I'm sorry for all of it. Man, does that include a lot of shit.
Okay, well, he's sorry for all the shit.
Man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But "I'm sorry" doesn't cover it. When you stole a Medal of Honor, you broke a dude's arm. I mean, the list goes on and on.
But doesn't it show the other side of it, how it's good to be forgiving? And how nice all the other kids and people and Mr.
But
LaRusso.
this show isn't about them. This show is about Eli. And he didn't forgive anybody. In fact, he held quite a grudge when Robbie cut his little gay mohawk off.
He did, though.
Yeah, I mean, he did eventually forgive him, too. But, yeah, he held a grudge. I mean, he's not the grudge holder that Kenny is, by no means.
No, man.
That dude, if he decides he doesn't like you, I mean, if you're Devin Lee and you make him shit his pants in front of everybody else, once again, an "I'm sorry" will do, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm the one who's sorry because I live here in the real world. And if you broke my arm, I don't think I'd allow you to stand face to face to me long enough to tell me you were sorry. Because as soon as I saw you, I'm going to break something. Your arm, your jaw,
I don't know.
Whatever. Say I'm not forgiving if you want to, but you broke my damn arm, you piece of crap.
I'm forgiving.
You broke my arm.
So, but maybe at that point they couldn't stand your ass. And now they digress and they realize that, man, that was wrong.
Well, you know what? You broke my arm and now I can't stand your ass.
Oh, actually, I'm forgiving. I don't know.
Anyway, I don't feel bad for him for this. I love it when Moon breaks up with him. I'm such a satisfying moment because I'm like, good. Yeah, she doesn't like you. Because you are being... If you considered that yourself to have been bullied, then you're definitely being a bully by that definition.
That's what I don't like.
I don't consider it bullying, but you yourself did because you were bitching about it.
Yeah, I don't
when it was happening to you.
Yeah, he doesn't remember where he came from. I don't like that at all because he should be trying to prevent bullying because he, of all people, knows how terrible it feels.
Now, what
so
happens,
I don't blame Moon for breaking up with him.
What happens next? What happens next? I feel bad for Jacob Bertrand, but not for Hawk. And the reason why I say that is next is his biggest moment. He starts going back out with Moon, or she gives him a kiss at this All Valley tournament, and he says, I finally figured out who I am. I'm the one that's going to win this whole motherfucker. And he does. So that's great. Unfortunately, this is the beginning of the end for Hawk.
Why?
It's the beginning of the assassination of his character because up to this point, up to and including this point, Hawk has been a main character throughout the entire series since he's been introduced. He's been a main character. Watch what happens next. What happens next is he wins the All Valley, but as you know, the dojo loses, so they got to close down or whatever. Well, then he gets it. How do I want to put this? That's the decline for him because the next thing is that he has to qualify at the Sekai Taikai, and he has to fight Kenny, which we all know what happens there. Kenny hits him with that power move that Silver taught him, takes him out, calls him Faux Hawk.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the beginning of his decline. Because after that, he loses to Dimitri in the finals to figure out who's supposed to go. The only reason why he even gets to go is because Tori bounces out, leaving a spot open, but Dimitri beats him at that. Then he goes there, and he's not a captain, and he's just... You see Hawk's character being slipped into the background. He's not a mainline character anymore. He's a secondary character. So for Jacob Bertrand, I feel bad for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel sorry for Jacob Bertrand as far as that goes, that they took his character and pretty much diminished him into just a secondary character. When he was a headliner character. So, I mean, I was glad because I hate Hawk. So I was glad for that. But, yeah, they assassinated Hawk's character. At the end, in the last season, especially the last chapter of the last season, the last 5 episodes, Hawk is really just an afterthought. He really is. And for somebody who, at one point every week, you either loved him or hated him, depending on which week it was, it's a shame that they did assassinate his character that way. But, like I said, there's plenty of things to hate about Hawk, so can't feel that bad for him.
There's plenty of things to love about Hawk.
What's that, exactly?
I don't know. I think that he learns his lessons. He truly is sorry. In the end, he comes around. I mean, he's just a kid, man. You know?
He's just a kid, but he is a punk ass with a bad attitude.
Yeah, well, like, his whole life. So, yeah, he went a little overboard with his confidence. It became douchey. But that's only because he lacked such self-confidence his whole childhood and stuff. So he went a little and became a little douchey. But I think he learned his lesson.
I don't know. I think when you break your best friend's or who's supposed to be your best friend's freaking arm, that's a little bit more than going overboard.
They're kids, man. They're kids.
Stealing a Medal of Honor. I don't care
I
if
don't
you're
agree
a kid.
with that, no.
I don't care if you're a kid or not. You're just a piece of garbage when you sink that low. Understand you are under the influence of Kreese, who is also an a-hole. We should probably get to his show fairly soon, I guess. There'll be a lot to say about him because he's very accomplished, according to some things that Shelley's told me here. And I have no doubts. So anyway, I could go on for quite a while about all the different reasons why I hate Hawk, but I mean, I guess Shelley kind of brought his character around at the end part. He did come around. He did, build his bridges or whatever. I found it interesting when Kenny came to the Sekai Taikai, though, that he and Dimitri didn't want to trust Kenny. Really, Hawk? You didn't want to trust somebody? You weren't sure whose side he was on? Because you were in all 3 freaking dojos. You've traded against every one of them. I don't know. I don't.
4.
No, he wouldn't join Eagle Fang. Remember, he was another reason to hate him. He's a punk ass to Johnny when he was trying to start that up.
My bad.
So, anyway, that's Hawk in a nutshell. I'm sure some people disagree with me. Maybe that. I'm sure he's probably even a lot of people out there's favorite character in the series. That's fine.
I like him.
A lot of people like assholes. I was going to say, oddly enough, not me. I'm an asshole. Not that many people like me.
I love you.
But that's fine.
But I like assholes.
But that's fine. I'm not in a popularity contest.
I like bad boys.
Nor do I care if anybody likes me. So anyways, that's our show about Hawk and how I feel about him. Shelley, you got anything you want to add before we exito?
Just that Hawk's character side. I think Jacob is a very talented young man, and
I agree with that.
I wish, and I think Tori is very talented, and I
think she is too. I just don't like her.
I know, but I wish the relationship will blossom, and I'm so happy that they have found happiness together.
Once
So,
again,
that's it, man.
Once again, if you are a big Peyton List fan,
I am.
You are screwing yourself over if you don't check out School Spirits.
School Spirits,
on
it's about
Paramount
ghosties.
Network, Paramount
Ghosties.
Plus. It's pretty good, and I actually like her character on that series. So I want to check that out. Until the next Cobra Kai Corner, this is Sensei Daniel saying, "Hiya!"
And Grasshopper Shelley saying please like, subscribe, share, do all the stuff, and check out our posts. We put pictures up there. So until next time.